Hey Simmers, I'm back with my speed build. Yes, I managed to get 3 videos up this week. I'm impressed with myself too. And don't worry, I have Monday's video already working on it. This one is a modern build. I kind of did a Google search looking for tiny modern home ideas, and I just happened to see the picture. I forgot to include it in the video of what I found. I did do a bunch of editing, much like last time, trying to get rid of a lot of my random movements. The biggest difference between it and the actual layout and all that is where I have the dining room is more living space in that house, and where the living room and this little office area is technically the garage in the actual real life one. But I figured I'd go with well, because we don't have cars, so it makes no sense putting a garage into this build. And I couldn't get the roof just right just because of, well, because it's The Sims. So coming out with the layout, it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. I put a little laundry area in it. It's got porch on the back and a little thing. It's just one step up, and it's got this balcony area that's connected to both of the bedrooms. This I actually edited out a bunch of the roof parts. This is the main part, just showing that where I couldn't get the roof to work is over here, where that little cutout area is. And I just cut it out because I tried for like good 15-20 minutes. So it's all being lit up now. It took me a while to get the thing moved around. So yeah, it's got a porch around the back. All that. Here's so yeah, I turn that 2 space square behind the stairs into a little bit of a laundry area. And I just put those counters in as placeholders that are down in what's going to become the kitchen. I do replace them. Here's me looking through all the ugly uh, double height windows. I just wanted the upstairs to be a bit taller than the bottom. That's why it ended up that way. I don't usually use more than standard size walls. You should probably know that by watching my videos. So yeah, the back area right where right beside the counters, all that, where I'm putting doors right now. In the actual build, that's supposed to be the living space. I actually took very much inspiration from the picture. I did some modifications, well, to some of the build. And then some of the changes I also did is I carried the brick that they had. I carried it up, so it goes up the entire building, not just these just lower corners. I thought it looked a little bit better. Here's where I thought about changing the outside, but I'm like, no, just carry the bricks up and put them all in the corners. And it actually made it, to me, it made sense. It actually made it look nice too. The balcony, I get really annoyed when you do that. When you do put out the um, railings, and if you've already have a floor, it deletes the floor. Why? You're just closing something in. You're not creating a new room. So here's where I start making changes to the inside. I decided to go with these more, well, with the cabinets from Encounters from Spa Day. They kind of felt more to be honest, I felt a little bit more of the modern vibe I wanted for there. Plus, it's got the more wood tones. And we've got so yeah, the kitchen. I didn't get out all the movements because some of it was just a little too short to get rid of. But I tried to use this nice motif. This is where I kind of decide that I need to add back in this wall. And I'm going to be honest, I stole this idea from the YouTuber Evelyn, where she used these university things in the half walls. So thank you, Evelyn, if you ever watch this video, for providing an idea and some inspiration. But yeah, I wanted to divide the kitchen from the living area. And then this, like I said, in the actual blueprints that I was looking at, this is supposed to be the living area. So the actual building is probably supposed to be a bit longer than what it is. But I found because I had decided that I wasn't gonna have the garage, it still worked out fine because I could put the dining room in the back area and then have the little area off to the side where the garage would be being the living room and what ends up being an office. Um, because I'm trying to go with more of a modern feel, certain parts of the house are more decorated than others. So like the dining room and the kitchen area are very minimalistic. So there's going to be some plants and some items out where I'd usually have a full of clutter and all that. Where the living room will have tons of stuff on the bookcases, the bedrooms have tons of stuff. And yes, I did edit. I edited out the bathrooms for some reason, both of them. But you'll see what they look like in the build tour at the end of the video. So yeah, coming up with the paintings and all that. And trying not to repeat stuff in form of paintings and all that was a little bit on my side. So here I'm using the couches from Paranormal. I'm using the white swatch. The living room starts becoming very... I start using a lot of white objects in the living room for like the bookcase, the end tables, things. And then to counteract that, I brought in blue. Items that were blue, like all the stuff that'll be going on that bookcase is blue, the carpet will be blue. And I actually think it turned out very well. There are no curtains in this place because I did not want to deal with those this time. My build tour on Monday, you'll see how much I used curtains. Because I actually did use a lot of curtains for it. Here, and this is where I decide to finally start using the blue, is when I picked that rug. What are we looking for here? Oh yeah, the hanging plants from Paranormal. As you can see, I'm starting to bring in blue items. To start adding color to the room. I did shrink the end tables down so they made a little bit more sense. But when you shrink them down, you have to use the red shelf and to place lights, and then move the lights to where they are. Because if you go to put them on the shrunk down shelves, they end up floating. And here's where I start filling up this bookcase with various blue items, trying to make this place feel a little bit more... Like I said, the kitchen dining room was very much minimalistic, where this room has, as you can see, tons of plants, tons of Items. The office is the same way. The office will have a few extra items in it. I decided to make my own bookends for this, but then I started to notice they start to clip into spots, so I had to go add a bunch of ones. So sometimes when you go to put stuff in on like top of other shelves and all that, you might have to go through and place other items onto the shelves to fill up the spaces, and then just go back and delete them like I do here. Where the rest of the house is white walled on the first floor, the living room I went with blue, and I think the office is a tan. I could be wrong though. So yeah, this was the living space. I did most of the downstairs in one shot, and then finished the house up in a second one. So there will be a cut between the two different parts there. Here's me putting stuff onto the end table. I decided to put a second item, so I had to redo the red shelf all over again. uh, so yeah, I got this all filled out. And go. So yeah, here's where I switched to start working on the other parts of the house. I decided we needed at least one fruit basket on the fridge. There isn't much decorations in the kitchen. I think that was about the extent of it, other than the items you need on that you'll see on the counter eventually, such as soap and paper towel. This was driving me nuts trying to get that into where I wanted it. So here's where I start working on the upstairs. As you can see, the bathroom's already kind of done. This is, like I said, a 2-bedroom. Both rooms have double beds and dressers. I think this is the only one I put a mirror in. Well, I spent so much time trying to think where stuff is again. Uh, this room, I think I go with a lavender type feel eventually for it. I know the other room has more blues than this one. I put that. Yeah, I really think this is supposed to be like the lavender. I used these blue paintings, played around with their positionings just to kind of give it a little difference. You see me do them into squares and stuff like that. And then we end up with the butterflies like usual. Yeah, this is where I start bringing it into this lavender color. I realized I forgot to do the rest of the floors. So yeah, this room has a bit of lavender. They also have plants in it, and we have our lovely butterflies that we've seen so many times. This room I kind of have a bit more of a blue feel to it, or turquoise based on the bed. And sorry for so many pauses, I kind of ran out of things to say. Oh, and I use a lot of pink flowers in this room for some reason. Then we have the tray. But yeah, for some reason I use pink as the accent color in that room. I do cut out a lot of the decorating in the hallway as well. And I found that a little just, again, use it because we're working on the things. Here's where I'm working on the office. It's a lot of books at one point. But I set up the office so uh so yeah, this is the office area. I decided to use some shelves, and I knew what I was looking for. It just took me a while to find them. Yeah, bring them up, move them over. So yeah, I figured they had these art pieces on the wall, on the shelves. I wish we had a few more different vases, because I tend to use those same vases over and over again. And yeah, this office is pretty simple. It's got a couch in it because it's got all those books. Uh, Corkboard with the calendar, and I do put up some postcards on it. And at least some hanging plants. That was my phone if you heard it. And so this is just trying to fill out some of the space. Like I said, this is probably other than the bedrooms, the most cluttered room. And here's me trying to find the postcards. Eventually, I figure out how to get. Oh, there we go. And then for some reason, I stick a Star Wars model in there. So yeah, I did a bit more editing while I was doing this. While I was recording the voiceover, I did some more editing. There was just a large section I decided I just didn't want in the video, so I cut it out. Mainly it was just me doing the backyard decorating, which is just putting out a few items and raising a bunch of lights, so it wasn't overly interesting. I got my basic landscaping. Clicking on a bunch of times just to I like kind of filling out the spaces underneath, and with that, oh, we get more flowers. I went a little overboard with these ones. And yeah, we don't get to see the dirt, so here we are into the build tour of it. I do like how it turned out in the end. It actually looks half decent. You come in, the stairs lead upstairs, and then you can turn and go into the kitchen, dining room, living area, with the office being closed off. A bunch of lovely wood tones. Here's where we'll be able to see the bathrooms that we did not see during the actual build. So this is a half bath, so it's basically a bath The bathroom with the sink and just a toilet. Nothing overly fancy. Instead of a shower, there's a tub in this place. I couldn't get the layout to work. Upstairs for a shower and a tub, I want both. Yeah, there's my sim self out in the hot tub. Need him to do something while I was videotaping. The living room, I actually like how this living room turned out because of the blue on the walls, the floor, and all the blue around. It actually helps make the white stand out a bit more. Sorry, I just banged the microphone. Just a small little office. Not much really to say about that. I do like how the flow, like my sim actually walked around half decently. Like the routing was wonderful getting around from place to place. So here's the hallway you didn't get to see. Not very much. And here's the upstairs bathroom. I could not figure out how to fit a shower into it because it's a 2x4 room. And whenever I laid it out, it just didn't seem right. Something would be blocked. Now we're into the lavender bedroom with our lovely butterflies going up the wall and huge planter and thing. Have us go out into the other bedroom. And that's this week's, this speed build. I will have a build tour up on Monday. So until then, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to, and until then, Susu!